from you guys earlier, right before the show, so Mr. Marcel's going to read those out.
The first one is fast food.
Back in my day, we didn't have fast food. And McDonald's was just the Irish family that lived down the street.
Back in my day, we didn't have fast food, but it sure came out of me fast.
Back in my day, we didn't have fast food. And if you were a victim to the Jack in the Box, that was a punishment you never wanted to uphold.
Back in my day, we didn't have fast food, and Five Guys was just what the local gang called themselves. Dark times.
Back in my day, we didn't have any fast foods, and Burger King was just the lord of the manor in Germany.
Well, back in my day, didn't have no fast food. And a McFlurry was just when we took the McDonald's boy and put him in the toilet.
Back in my day, we didn't have fast food.
And the Panda Express was just the fastest ferry to China.
Back in my day, we didn't have fast food, and Carl's Jr. was just meat. And when I turned 43, I was still Carl's Jr.
New topic. Books. Books.
Back in my day, didn't have no books and everything was carved on big stone tablets.
Back in my day, we didn't have books, and spines were what I ripped out of my enemies.
Back in my day, we didn't have books and bindings brought me back to the war.
Back in my day, we didn't have books, and 50 Shades of Grey was just the local paint store.
Back in my day, we didn't have books, and Fahrenheit 451 just brought me back to the war.
Back in my day, we didn't have books, and so we didn't have Twilight then, and you know, it was just sunny all the time.
Well, back in my day, didn't have no books. And Harry Potter was just that bearded guy who made vases down the street. Back in my day, we didn't have books. We didn't have The Great Gatsby either. We made do with a mediocre Gatsby.
Back in my day, we didn't have any books, and The Sound and the Fury was just a phrase that if you said it, Jeremy Lund would go, "Oh, God, yes!" And no one knew why.
Back in my day, we didn't have no books, and Silence of the Lambs was just what the sheep herders were praying for.
Last topic are birds. Birds.
Back in my day, we didn't have birds. Dude, I hate them.
Back in my day, we didn't have no birds, and raptors was something completely different.
Back in my day, we didn't have no birds, but we had this great game called Pelican, where we just kind of took a can and we peeled it. It was a great time for the kids.
Sounds like fun. Back in my day, we didn't have any birds. I don't know what you called the thing that used in badminton. Back in my day, we didn't have birds. And Steven Seagal was called Steven Seagal. Come with me, Jacob. Back in my day, we didn't have birds, we didn't have blue jays. And if Jacob over here was blue, then I'd give him a pat on the back. I hope you feel better, Jacob.
Back in my day, we didn't have any birds. And McDonald's still didn't use chicken in their chicken McNuggets.
Back in my day, we didn't have any birds. We just had a bunch of eggs lying around and no one knew why. What came first?
Back in my day, we didn't have birds, so when I saw a raven, I just walked on over there and busted a hip.
Back in my day, we had no such thing as birds. And an Ostreich was just the eastern part of Germany. Back in my day, we didn't have birds, and quail was just what I did when I saw how tall my grandson was getting.
Back in my day, we didn't have birds, and pigeons just what you did in baseball.
Back in my day, we didn't have birds. And if you saw a blue-footed booby, you'd say, hey, you should probably get that checked out.
Back in my day, we didn't have birds. There was only Larry.
Back in my day, we didn't have birds and a yellowfin tuna. That's a fish.
Back in my day, so you go, by all means, Back in my day, we didn't have birds, so nobody knew what the hell Alfred Hitchcock was talking about. Well, back in my day, we didn't have no birds, and a kingfisher was just the royal guy who got all the fish.
Oh, back in my day, we didn't have birds, and parrots was just gross rot on pears, and it really sucked. Really bad, I like pears.
Back in my day, shut up. We didn't listen up here, all right? Because you know what? We didn't have birds, and a penguin was just a normal animal. How it should be. Keep the penguin a normal animal. It's not a bird. It's never supposed to be a bird. It's a myth.
Another new one, so let's go with cars. Cars.
What?
Cars.
Okay. Cards?
Cars.
Back in my day, we didn't have cars, and a Lamborghini was the new linguine, the new pasta. Hey, fettuccine.
Well, back in my day, didn't have no cars, and a Toyota was just what I got after I saw The Empire Strikes Back.
Back in my day, we didn't have cars. You couldn't wake up in a new Bugatti. You had to wake up in the POW camp.
Get better! Back in my day, we didn't have cars, so old Volkswagen was just when we went to the old folks' home, took the ones we liked and put them in a wagon and dragged them
Back in my day, we didn't have cars.
Speak up, speak up.
Back in my day, we didn't have cars. And Tesla was just that Eastern European inventor.
Back in my day, we didn't have Chryslers. Chrysler was just what I had in my midlife.
Back in my day, we didn't have cars. And tired was just what I got around 2:30.
Cliche. Oh. Okay.
Back in my day, we didn't have cars, and a Jaguar's what took my arm.
Back in my day, I'll set this right there, we didn't have cars, and suspenders was these two bad boys.
Well, back in my day, we didn't have any guys who owned Ferraris. We just had Guy Fieri's, you know.